Welcome, everybody, to the weekend preview show here on the EquinEdge channel on YouTube. Hope you all enjoyed the HHH Racing podcast. We're come on right after they got finished up. No Scotty tonight. He has got Tim Tool time and home improvement stuff to do at his new house. So I'm here with you with the Oldie Capper. First Thursday of football, Oldie. We've got football season, which means we've got many weeks of football on Thursday nights, along with the weekend preview show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Got to catch a couple minutes of the Bears playing in the Hall of Fame game. No starters, extra preseason game. I'm sure what everybody wants to see, but football's back, and that's always exciting.
You know what else is back, Oldie, is a good weekend of racing. We've got the Whitney at Saratoga on Saturday that we'll be covering on the stretch run with you and I, and Justin will be on, and Derek will be on, and David Harrison will be on. It should be a good day, so tune in for that. We've got 22 horses to go through here, Oldie, so I'm going to get my my timer out and give you no more than about 3 minutes per, so we're not here for days or weeks or months. So let's get right to it. Get out to the first one, which is these are going to be Friday horses. We'll tell you when we get to the Saturday ones, but Friday, Colonial Downs, race 1, number 1, Brooder. Talk to me.
So Brooder, 9-5 on the morning line, 2-1 on the morning line. Second best win percentage, top E pick, top pace, top SOR, top GSR. And when you look at Brooder in this race, Brooder's taking a huge drop from 54 SORs and the 50 that Brooder beat originally to 42 SOR here. So Brooder probably needs the lead. Pace number thinks Brooder will get it. And on the lead, Brooder's probably going to be tough here in this group that is not all that good. And, these are 12-5 claimers, 9 winners of 2 lifetime. So, Brooder, from that pace advantage, should be able to go gate to wire here.
Looks like a unanimous decision. Just real quick, what's up, Mike, Dave, Chuck, Doug? Yes, Bruno works are great, aren't they? Greg McSorley, good to see you.
Yeah, so, looking at this race, your second pick here, Inspired Irish, who also happens to be right there with your third best pace, is a slow breaker. Has been facing easier or roughly the same from a SOR standpoint at Laurel. Been on the turf, moves back to dirt, hasn't run particularly well on dirt either. But, this 1:25:24 race, going 2 turns was pretty decent. But beyond that's the only decent race this horse has run since 6/2/23.
Well, all that Jameson will make it hard to break, right? The more you have of that, the harder it is to break. Yes. But Brooder, unanimous pick there, Colonial on the dirt, heading to the next race, which we'll go to Del Mar. Everything's in alphabetical order for each racing day. Del Mar, race 1, number 3, Beer Can Man.
Long shot Beer Can Man. So let me sort this by pace here. So you will see here that there appears to be a lot of early pace in this race. Sassy Nature looks kind of cheap, but does have 3 wins out of 5 at the distance. Fast Buck, Unconquerable Keen, Mana Rose, they all need the lead types. So
but what stands out there, Oldie, is that 6 of 11 is the distance.
Yes, that too. But Beer Can Man, should sit a trip here because should get first run because there's only one closer here. And, Beer Can Man has been in there with some of the best sprinters in the world, having run in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint less than a year ago. And I think catches the perfect group here. You're getting 21% on the win percentage line, getting 5-1 on the morning line, 4-1 on the E morning line. And this race just looks like it could set up perfectly for Bear Can Man. I don't think Daniel's Magic is quite that good of a horse that he'll be able to overcome that deep of a trip. So Bear Can Man gets the pace set up to run the early speed off here and finishes up strongly and gets that 7th win at the distance.
All right, sticking with Del Mar, let's get over to race 3. The 6 horse, I'll let you pronounce it.
I'm going to call it Scipio.
Okay, I can go with that.
Best I can do with that. So again, 5 furlongs turf sprint. We're making David Harrison happy or upset. I'm not sure which one, but one or the other. Scipio is a first-time starter. He's also 18% to win, and your Scotty second choice. So if we click on Scipio here, you'll see why we chose this horse here. You see the 4-star work on July 19th. You see a bunch of 3-star works, including a 1 of 10 here. And, been working with elders and went and looked the best here. And that this is a first-time starter. You're getting 5-1 on the morning line here as well, and 3-1 on the E morning line. So, likely, may not go off as the favorite here, even though this race, the morning line's pretty spread out, so it's probably hard to predict. But this horse has shown some speed, has some talent, and we think in a race that there's really nobody who stands out in terms of breeding is a horse that can bring this home at a price.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the breeding, obviously the 70 is square there with the GSR. Just give us a little bit of commentary on that. I mean, it's the sheriff's first-time starter, which is usually not on everybody's radar in terms of the win first out. What are his stats there?
Well, even regardless of what his stats are, which is 3%, you look at these works, even though Bruno's giving them 3 stars, they're extremely slow. The 93 of 111 in a turf sprint, this tells me this horse probably doesn't have any early pace.
Yep.
And, that it is likely to just be here for the race. The other thing that concerns me about this horse as well is this note here.
Sluggish start.
Sluggish start. And that's the gate work. And there's no gate work after that. So, if the works are telling you and there's evidence that the horse struggles to break out of the gate as a first-time starter, that's a horse you want to let other people spend money on.
Yep. All right. Gulfstream Park, race 5, number 1. We're going with this horse, the Dove Rules. We're just hoping that the doves don't cry, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like, which hopefully we won't hear when the doves cry. But we discussed this horse pretty thoroughly. The belief is here that the 3 and the 7 are going to go fast and set things up, and that the 1's going to sit the perfect trip here. Going again, another 5 furlong race. We're the king of the 5 furlongs on Friday. And that this horse has has shown some tactical ability and has gotten home not being on the lead. Is in the Saffie Joseph barn, gets Zayas here, 15%, E second pick, also second win percentage. Doesn't have the GSR of the 7, but for the most part, and it's top SOR as well. So a lot of metrics line up to the 1 as well. And, you can see it almost beat a group of 62s last time out and should get a better effort being able to have the 3 run with the 7 on the front end.
Yeah, Alfredo really made the case for this. And Alfredo is our man on the scene. He's there every racing day, seeing these horses, really knowing the circuit, much like David knows Naira. So yeah, we landed on the Dove rules here. Good opportunity to maybe get a little bit of a price here. I don't think it's going to go off as the favorite. I think the 7 will.
Yeah.
And if the 7 and 3 hook up, it really sets it up for the 1. So moving on to race 8 at Saratoga.
No.
Sorry, Gulfstream Park. That is number 8, Great Venezuela.
Yeah, and this was one that I saw before. So Alfredo came up with this one as well, but I saw this and so I was already on his list, so I decided not to put it down twice. So this looks like your late pick 5 single to me. Great Venezuela beat 62s last time out by almost 3. It's beaten 64s, beaten 70s. You just have the 1 loss, which came on turf. Stays on synthetic here, going 5.5. The horse is 3 of 4 at the distance. Only when it was a maiden did it fail to win at this distance. 4 to 5 on the morning line. Barbosa and Reyes here. You have nobody else in this race who has more than 1 win at this distance. And you look here as well, top win, top E pick. This horse can rate and it's going to sit a trip right behind that 7, who is cheap and should stop. The 2 horse here, who's your top SOR, really isn't, a synthetic horse, also needs the lead and is your long shot. So we really think that Great Venezuela, who's also top GSR, is going to sit a trip here. So if we watch the race sim on this one too, this horse wins by almost 2 lengths as well.
Yes, and the 2-length ones we tracked are pretty good. Quick shout out to Nate Kaczynski. He got himself a BC qualifier entry for Saturday. We will certainly be rooting him on. That was in the Horse Players Happy Hour contest this afternoon. Good to see Brad Anderson in the chat. Chuck Brower, Chuck and Brad were in the winner's circle last week at Saratoga. That was pretty good up there. So the last horse for Friday, Oldie, we'll get over to Monmouth. Race 1, number 9, Good Medicine. And I think New Jersey is really only known for Bon Jovi's Bad Medicine, right?
You're just stealing my lines from earlier,
Yeah, I am. I'm stealing them, man.
But
so
yeah,
tell us about Good Medicine.
Good Medicine. I'm going first to the jockey trainer tab to show everybody. This is Pletcher and Paco Lopez here. So Good Medicine, E top pick, second win, top win percentage. Should sit a nice trip behind the speed on the turf, going 1 mile and a 16th here. This horse is tied for your top SOR. It's 8 to 5 on the morning line. And you see last time out, it just missed at this level. And, this horse should, with the added pace, should we believe, get home here. So, you look at Lord knows this horse is beaten lesser, likely needs the lead. You look at the other contenders here, also need the lead type with the Kathleen O'Connell horse. So there's some speed here to make sure that to help set this up for Good Medicine. We'll also, and Alfredo said that he watched this race, and last time out, Good Medicine, Paco got caught on the rail. And so this time he's sitting to the outside and should get that outside trip and not have to, and be able to get out and finish and win this race.
All right. Moving over to Saturday. We're getting to Saturday races now. Oldie, we're going to start with Del Mar, race 8, number 3, Wendelson.
Del Mar, race 8, number 3. See, I had it the other way around. I had it as Del Mar, race 3, the 8. So there we go. So
yeah, we're going with a Scotty long shot here. Bit of a price play, but tell everybody about it. How we work this one out.
Wendelson, 8 to 1 on the morning line. You can see here, by the way, McVeigh looks scratched, so we'll just get rid of that, get that off the screen. Top pace by 20 points, 12% to win. As well, second best GSR, right there with the top horses in terms of SOR at 56 and a 58 here. You look at this horse and you'll see not only does it returns back to its original trainer, you look at the works and, flashing big speed, liked him at Keeneland. 1 of 26 here out of the gate. And a 1 of 58 here at Keeneland. So, this horse really looks like he can run. And this is not the best group. Won last time out by almost 9 lengths against a group of 56s at Ellis. So this is only a group of 58s. This horse won easily against a similar group. So one should expect that this horse would run well better than what that morning line is set at 8-1 by Mendelssohn, hence the name Wendelson, which reminds me too much of the umpire Hunter Wendelstadt. But see, I didn't share all my good lines for today, but this horse just looks like the type of horse that could go gate to wire, going 2 turns at Del Mar.
Yeah, definitely using the ship and win program for Mick Ruiz, who doesn't run a lot of horses these days. Yeah. Definitely kind of pointing to this to get out to San Diego and pick up a victory. So next up at Del Mar was race. Let's see. We covered Wendelson. So let's go to race 3, Oldie. Known Idea, number 1.
So you threw me off on the order there.
Yeah. 1 off the order there. Apologies.
All right. Known Idea. Horse to watch. Top win, top E pick, top pace. Here, and is also, I believe, top SOR. So those horses win 47% of the time with a -6% ROI. So that they do tend to be favorites is what that's telling you. On the turf, 15-point pace advantage, 17-point pace advantage. Sorry. Your second fastest horse is 0 for 10 at the distance, by the way. And you look here, this horse for Sadler, beat 58, almost got home last time on turf at this distance. It should get a little bit of an easier trip here. And, you see here jump track and, had some issues. So, with not having issues with a clean break here and, gets what I'll call a slight jockey upgrade from Barrios to JJ here as well. So, another sign this horse might be very live. This horse also almost got home not on the lead at 6 furlongs, so may not be a horse that 100% needs the lead. So you may have a little security there.
Good. Yeah, this was a consensus pick as well, but yeah. The comment Dan's got there, Hunter Wendelstedt mentioned, who had that on their bingo card? The answer is nobody. So, Oldie, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a contest for the Stretch Run Saturday show. At some point in time, Oldie or I are going to make that an umpire name reference. And the first one to tweet it out to us will win a copy of A Better Way of Thinking by Matt Miller. We will get you one shipped to your house for free, but you're going to have to pay attention. And if nobody gets it live, it's still available on the replay. You just got to be the first one to tweet it out and tag Oldie and I. And it will not be Joe West. It'll be much more obscure, right? We're going to slip it in there and really challenge the baseball folks. Okay, back in order.
Let me just add, Cowboy Joe West was in The Naked Gun.
Yes, he was. So maybe some Naked Gun references, but no Joe West. Race 10, Oldie, Del Mar on Saturday. The 2-horse, Adair Manor, Bob Baffert. Talk to us.
All right, so Dare Manor, and this is one we had a slight disagreement on.
Yep.
This was a 2-1 vote. So Chris and Alfredo.
Oh, he's outing us now.
Yeah, I love the Dare Manor here. The Dare Manor, Grade 2 winner, Grade 1 winner, though that Apple Blossom was possibly the weakest edition of the Apple Blossom in the history of Apple Blossoms. So, really a Grade 2 horse mostly. Baffert, mostly needs the lead. It, though, did get close in that Beholder Mile when the horse didn't get the lead. It is the home track, 3 to 5 on the morning line, 1 to 2 on the morning line. Top win, top E pick, or Scotty pick, I should say. Top pace, not top SOR, but tied with Pretty Mischievous at top GSR as well. Pretty Mischievous was the other horse that was being considered here. And it's just a matter of, is there enough pace here to get for Pretty Mischievous, who is a multiple Grade 1 winner of legit Grade 1s, and hasn't run as well this year, so maybe isn't the same horse. So we'll see for Brendan Walsh. There is an morning line angle there of 8 to 1 versus 7 to 2, but nothing compared to 3 to 5 and 1 to 2 here on the Baffert at Dare Manor.
No ship and win bonus in the stakes races, so we'll see how that goes for Brendan. All right, the next race we've got coming up on Saturday, Oldie, is Gulfstream Park, race 6, number 1, Misprint. This was a unanimous selection.
Gulfstream Park, race 6, Misprint. There we go. So Misprint, Bobby and his Dibona here with Reyes aboard again, moving to dirt, going 6.5 furlongs. This horse, it can go fast, but is also tactical. You see it broke its maiden, breaking 8th from off the pace, has won pressing, has won on the lead. Has beat 55s and 58s on synthetic. Here is facing 50s, gets the advantage. And a lot of times we talk about the one post being bad, but at Gulfstream going one turn, the one post is super. So, gets that inside speed advantage. Also, 20-point pace advantage here. So, really lone pace, top win, top Scotty pick here. We all love this horse, Misprint. And if you had 25K, it would be a great claim.
All right, that's Misprint, Gulfstream Park, race 6 on Saturday. We're going to catch our breath real quick for 30 seconds. Grab a sip of your beverage. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. You can sign up for a free account on EquinEdge.com. It'll give you 3 free races a day. You can kind of play around with the system from there. There are daily passes available, weekend passes, monthly and annual. Any questions, reach out to us. Happy to answer any of them. So, Oldie, at Monmouth Park on Saturday, race 6, number 1, Floge.
Floge.
Floge, whatever you got.
Whatever you want to call it. Top Scotty pick, top win percentage, 2 to 1 on the morning line, 3 to 1 on the morning line here. 2 of 8 at the distance. This horse we thought, has, you look here, beat 56s 2 back, just missed last time, can win at 6 furlongs, can win at a mile 70. And we thought from a pace standpoint too, that with these 360 plus pace numbers here all bunched together, these guys could go pretty fast. And Flush, again, I keep talking about perfect trips, but this looks like Flush could get a perfect trip here when these horses stop. The 7 horse puts up a 1% jockey, who's the second pick. Your 2 horse here hasn't won since being in the slop. Really hasn't had any wins really since 2022 on a dry track. So you look here and there's just not much else in this race. Fluge should, at this level, should react well and should be able to sit the trip and get home here.
Yeah, that's what we thought. I mean, when you go through there, getting the right trip there, Monmouth, the inside isn't too bad. Certainly one to consider in your multi-race wagers. Sticking with Monmouth, we'll go to race 9, number 3, something that's very popular here in the state of Florida, Concealed Carry.
Concealed Carry. Come on. There we go. So Concealed Carry, this was one of our price play upset specials for the weekend preview show. So this horse has what you call a pace advantage. And by that, I mean 35-point pace advantage.
Just a
tad. As they say in Airplane 2, which I believe is 90 million miles off course, something like that. So just a tad. Concealed Carry has a win on the lead on dirt, a win on the lead on synthetic. We believe here we'll get its win on the lead on turf here. For Lewis and his Linder Jr. here. And, 12% to win, has the SOR that fits here, has beaten 60s, or 58s. So, this horse, it's all about getting the lead, but if this horse and the pace number is correct and this horse gets as easy of a lead as we think it will at 8.5, coming out of the chute there, should get a great trip, and we believe will, even with the low GSR here, should get home. And hopefully you'll get all that 10-1 price and none of that price there as well on the E morning line.
All right, let's get over to a consensus horse. Still sticking at Saturday. We're going to hit the Saratoga, Oldy, for race 3, number 1, Deck of Cards.
Deck of Cards, not the favorite, by the way. Top pace here, top win. Yeah, a lot of patterns here in terms of that. Also top GSR. I'm surprised it's not a horse to watch here. So it's Maker and Vasquez. This horse beat 62s by almost 7 lengths last time out. Beat 54s the time before that by almost 9 lengths. This horse is out there, in great form. Already has a win over the Saratoga surface as well, and gets a group that, that there's nothing here that would make you think that this horse can't get home here. Barracuda beat 62s, but Barracuda has no speed. The second pick here, and this is coming out of that mile chute, where you have to be forwardly placed. So you add in the pace advantage, the inside post with speed coming out of the mile chute, all the metrics lining up for this horse. And, this horse is a horse for whether you want to use it in doubles, pick 3s, pick 4, early pick 5, that is your single and your big play here.
Yeah, we definitely like the Deck of Cards. The pace advantage here was huge. As Chuck was saying, the inside was good today. Hopefully it's good on Saturday. Speed is always good at Saratoga. There you got to finish with the race simulator. So now we're getting kind of Captain Obvious, Oldie. Race 11, race 10, number 6, Cockburn. And before he gets into Cockburn, I think this is one that you may not necessarily want to anchor pick 5s around. You may or you may not, but you can certainly look at the pick 3 before that. I think there's some opportunities to beat Ways and Means with a couple of horses, and a couple opportunities in race 9 with some non-favorites to kind of drive to this one. And if you look at doubles and pick 3s, you might find some value there. But just get into Cogburn, Oldie, and tell the folks where we ended up.
Yeah, so Cogburn, the track record holder at 5.5 furlongs from the last race at the Joper Grade 1 on Belmont at Saratoga Day for the Belmont Stakes. This horse, it was a hot pace and was able to keep going. Has been almost unstoppable except for that Kentucky Downs race since May of 2023. For Asmussen here is in great form, has beaten a lot of these horses already. The Appleby horse needs a lot of pace to run into and hasn't been able to get home. XY Speed comes out of Gulfstream and running against lesser. Been around a long time too. 37 starts there. Mischief Magic is your second pick here too. So, and Cogburn beat Mischief Magic by almost 5 lengths last time out. So it would have to be a big turnaround here for Mischief Magic to come off and beat Cogburn. I will point out Dancing Buck was a horse that our friend David liked in that Grade 1 race. So just a hard knocking New York bred, but Cogburn, going to be the odds on favorite 4 to 5. We have it at 2 to 1 on the morning line, but Chris mentioned maybe a pick 3, maybe you get 2 to 1 on a double into the next with the next horse that we have for the weekend preview as well.
Well, take us right there, because that is going to be National Treasure. We are certainly going to stick with this one. Ollie and I pretty much wholeheartedly agree that he is definitely the horse to beat here. There are some other horses that he'll talk about that could get in the mix. I heard Howard and Pete talking about, does this make him the Breeders' Cup favorite if he wins? That's conjecture. I mean, tomorrow is really the deal. Saturday is really the deal for this horse in terms of getting out there and getting it done. It is the graveyard of champions. Some also say favorites. But I think, National Treasure can do 2 things. He can either go or he can sit right off of it, and we'll find out if he's good enough. He's certainly the one to beat for sure. The one I don't fear and that the EE system does not like anymore is the 12 Charge It.
Yeah, no, so Charge It really kind of a Grade 3 horse. So Grade 2, Grade 3 horse. And, that's proven over time. For me, National Treasure is just beaten most of these horses already. So you look at the Pegasus, Skippy was in that race. First Mission was in that race. There are some new shooters here, but they're lesser horses here, and beaten post time already in the Met Mile. So there's just not a lot here for me to upset National Treasure. And you're going to Croupy as a horse is going to need such a pace setup as well, and was beaten handily by National Treasure already. Tumbarumba, is a horse that never seems to get home.
Tumbarumba it gets knocked down, but it gets up again.
Yes, it's been tub thumping. Yes, so National Treasure been in great form, perfect GSR. 9 to 5. I don't think you'll get 9 to 5, but if you do, that's a gift. If you get 9 to 5 here on National Treasure, you might get 4 or 5 to 1 on the double.
Mm-hmm.
I would think, and you should take that and run to the bank.
Yeah, you'll know the double what the true odds are going to be when the race before the probables into National Treasure.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, can the horse get beat? Sure, they all can get beat, but I think this is definitely the one to beat. It won up there for the Met Mile, stretching out. One could question whether or not it can stretch out to the mile and lay off the mile. We think it can.
Well,
Uh,
it won the Pacific Classic
yes,
at that distance, so I already know the stretch out's not going to be a problem.
yeah,
And
it's just the form cycle here that we're kind of looking
yeah,
at to get there, and didn't has not done anything wrong at the distance, but still one that you'll have to weigh odds wise and everything else. But you definitely don't want to be more than about 5 lengths off the lead here. If you're that far out like Krupe,
yeah.
you need an insanity pace. So moving on to the last race on Sunday, that will
Saturday.
be Saturday. Sorry, will be Woodbine. Race 4, the 4. I'll let you pronounce this one.
Right top, sure. Rooftop, something like that.
Yeah.
For Mark and his Cassie. Um, and I
And
guess it's,
this is Gary Barber, too. He's got this horse. Is this the Gary Barber horse? I
yeah,
can't
it
remember.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. Barber Gary, there we go. And Eclipse
There we go.
Thoroughbred
Gary
Partners.
and his Barber.
Yes. And I want to scream Figaro at this horse, but so it's Patrick and his husband's as well riding. 31% top EE pick, right there, fits from a GSR standpoint. Is going to sit behind the what looks like the cheap speed and lemon sweets here, and should be able to pounce on these horses. There's really just not a lot here, and that's what it came down to. The Dixon horse really hasn't shown anything. The 7 horse, for Attard, looks like it's a synthetic horse more than a turf horse, and needs the lead as well. And with lemon sweets there, it's going to be tough for the 7 to get the lead from an outside post as well. So not a lot here as you look at this group. So the 4 lightly raised has a really nice work on the turf May 24th. We think that this is this horse's time to break its maiden, and you probably will see this horse running, since it's Barber and Cassie, in some stakes races in the future.
Love the 9 furlong 1-turn race there at Woodbine
Yes.
as well. All right, Oldie, going get over to Gulfstream Park. It'll be race 3, number 1, Next Right Thing. We were unanimous on this one and the next one.
Gulfstream Park, race 3.
Number 1.
Number 1, Next Right Thing. Okay, again, top E win percentage, top Scotty pick here. Looks like at 5 furlongs, Patrick and his Cone will sit right with Jaramillo aboard, will sit right behind the 7, who's the speed of the race, but kind of cheap and not really nice works on this horse as well. Obviously was highly thought of as ran as a maiden in the Delmar debutante last year in a grade 1. So, this horse is very, very highly thought of, and, really is going to be on what we think is the right service here. Nearly won first time out, was right there on close to the lead against Maiden Special Weight Company at 5 furlongs at Delmar as a 2-year-old. Now as a 3, gets back to what we think is the preferred surface here.
Next Right Thing. That's race 3, number 1 at Gulfstream on Sunday. Is that Sunday or Saturday?
Well played, Dare. Dare turned my Figaro reference into an MLB umpire there.
Yep. All right. Sticking with Sunday, Oldie, Gulfstream Park, race 9, number 2, Big and Classy. Good pickup there. Too bad you don't win a book because you've already got one coming.
All right, let's get this loaded. Race 9, big and classy. Horse to watch. E second pick, top win percentage. Again, Bobby and his Diabona. I have to be careful with that one.
That's two of them today.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
But has wins over 70s. Is dropping out of handicap, let's say, here, even though it is allowance optional claimer and the SOR is actually 72. This horse is tactical, doesn't need the lead. We're going 6.5 furlongs. We have a bunch of similarly paced horses. You look, the 1 needs the lead. The 7 seems to need the lead. The 4 needs to pretty much be on the lead and doesn't win very often. This 3 horse can rate a little bit, so that this is the main competition. And
wasn't that a 90s span of a revolution? It just feels like a 90s span name. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody in the chat will figure that out.
But we think big and classy is in good form. Second off the layoff for Dibana, his 21%. Dibona, however I decide to say it this time, has some excellent works as well. We think this horse is sitting on a big effort here.
Big and classy. Gulfstream Park. Getting out to Laurel on Sunday. That'll be race 6, number 6, Bell of Rights.
Yes, Bell of Rights. Should sit right behind, well, not directly behind, but behind the speed here on the turf for Shug and his McGahee. With Forrest Boyce aboard, they are, as a pair, 25%, carrying 118 pounds, 8-5 on the morning line, 29% to win.
And he's due, right? You look at that pattern, Bella writes, if you'll click back to that.
Yeah.
This is the fierceness pattern. Win, lose, win, lose, win.
Yes, every other race likes the 8.5 furlong distance, 2-0 at the 8.5 furlong distance. The losses have come at different distances and, didn't embarrass itself in a stakes race, either against 74s there, against a better group than this. Really, the main competition is probably one of the speed horses, probably Distorted Del Doro, but this is a huge step up in class for that horse. And it barely won last time out at Delaware against 60s. So, we think Bell of Rights, not only from its pattern, but also from the races itself, is going to sit the trip here and get home on the Laurel turf.
And if you click on that horse one more time, Ollie, you got to love the win percentage increase here, right? Going from 11 to 29%.
And Scotty would say here, this horse wins when it has higher win percentages. And you see here, the 8% there didn't win, the 11% there. Now we're back up above 24, 25, where this horse has been successful. And also where the algorithms recognize that this horse is dangerous.
All right, last 2 are going to be at Saratoga. They're going to be part of the early pick 5. It'll be race number 2 on Sunday, number 5 next. Of course, we're going to pick this horse. I mean, it's a 1-9, 2-5 on the EE morning line. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, won last time out by almost 10 lengths against a similar group. He has a win at 14 furlongs, so the what is that, a mile and 5
furlongs?
No, that's a mile, and so a mile and a half is 12. So that's about a mile and 6. No, what am I trying to say? It's a mile and 6/8, so it's a mile and 3/4.
Mile and 3/4.
Yeah.
As the rest of other states, other than Illinois, call it. It's a mile and 3/4, and the horse. If you could get even money on this horse, it would be a gift.
2 back at or 3 back at Parks, it won by 25 lengths. That how many horses outside of Secretariat have won by 25 lengths? And I'm not saying this horse is a Secretariat. I'm saying this horse is good in stakes and grade 2 races, and they just keep hammering that level and collecting the money.
Yep. All right, enough on next. We'll wrap it up tonight with Saratoga, race 4, number 8, Kick a Buck. Unanimous selection here by the group tonight.
Saratoga, what race was that?
That was race 4, number 8, Kick a Buck.
All right, I took it as race 8, and I missed it there, obviously. So Kick a Buck on the turf, maiden claimers for Chad Brown. You'll see the GSR that sticks out here of 79. Top win percentage, Manny Franco and Chad. That this horse is gonna, we think, relish the extra half furlong here. This is on the inner, and you look at this group, and we really just couldn't find anything else here either that we thought looked like a horse that could win here. So that we really like this horse. Kick a Buck, top Scotty pick, top win percentage, top GSR, very dangerous here.
That's where we kind of wrapped up, folks. There's 22 horses in just under 45 minutes. A couple of program notes. Scotty will be live tomorrow with David Harrison at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time for the Road to the NHC. Tune in there. We've had a bunch of people qualify for NHC seats and the early qualifiers and whatnot. Good content there. Oldie and I will be back, including Justin, David Harrison, and Derek on Saturday for Whitney Day. Quick plug here. Let me go grab this real quick. Tomorrow night, as every Friday night, we do have a free Zoom class where we kind of go through the E program, the different things it offers. People ask a lot of questions. We do handicapping on the fly. Now that Del Mar is in full swing, we will do some live Del Mar betting, and we'll dig a little bit deeper into these races that we picked over the weekend. And you can find that right here in this link. And go sign up there. We got 8 spots left. We've got some good classes coming up. I'm not going to tease too much of it. By the way, you never know who's going to show up to these. We have a lot of interesting characters from BCBC winners, other hosts, other famous handicappers. You never know who's going to pop in. But Chuck brings up a good point here, Oldie, and let's go to that tomorrow. We'll end with this race 8 at Saratoga, because Scotty does have a piece of this horse and did sign the slip for this when they had the auction. So race 8, Makenga gonna be on the lead. We were on with Scotty live when this horse last raced. And it just, the whole vibe of the show went when that horse lost. Chad put a rabbit out there, and Johnny took the bait and went a little too fast here. But can Makenga get loose on the lead here and wire him?
I think there's another brown rabbit here in Sagesta. So, I expect something similar here. I mean, this horse is legit, almost won a grade 1. And Scotty thought this race was too long for Makenga. I actually brought, I texted Scotty that Makenga was running, and that was his response, that he thought that, a mile or a mile and a 16th was more Makenga's distance here. So, being that opinion and the presence of Sagesta, that those are 2 negatives. Now, if Sagesta is out scratches, then you then maybe you take a shot on Makenga here. Not at 9-2 though. I think you need more than that. You have an Aidan O'Brien. You have Appleby with Buick riding here, also with Cinderella's Dream, who's already won a Grade 1 at this distance in the U.S. It's going to be very tough here. So this is a very tough group, I think, for Makenga.
Fair enough. But it should, like Chuck said, the horse could get brave. Brad is saying the Appleby horse, the one, is going to be tough for sure. Either way you look at it, I don't think this is where they're going to try and rate Makenga. They're going to go and see if they can hold on for that 9.5 furlongs. But reason why it wasn't in the free squares, but certainly one we'll all be rooting for to hopefully to get home for Scotty. So want to thank everybody for joining tonight. And if you would do us a big favor and hit the like and subscribe button, we are down to just a few folks to get away from 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. We would appreciate that. We will see you all on Saturday. Oldie, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, hang around, guys. If you have not seen the EE close, there's a nice surprise in it. I think everybody will enjoy it. We get a good laugh every time we see it, so hang around for that as well.
See you Saturday.